This is question and answer with thrivewithautism.ca. Okay, so one of the biggest questions that I get asked regularly is if my child is in so much stress or pain or is reacting to these things, why isn't it obvious that it's that thing that's a problem? Well, there's several things that are going on. First, there's this thing called acclimatization, where if you really think about it and you notice, okay, is there tension in your neck, or maybe it's the small of your back or between your shoulder blades? When you stop and think about it, most of us can say, "Oh yeah, it's really tense and it's not that comfortable there." But we don't notice that most of the time because our minds tune it out because it's there all the time. We just begin to ignore it. Now, um, there's two other things that can be happening. The second is called masking, and masking is when your body is first exposed to something toxic. Like imagine somebody taking their first puff of a cigarette, and their face turns white and green, and they're coughing and spluttering, and they feel nauseous, and there are a whole bunch of ways that the body says, "Don't do this to me." And but if you keep doing this, your body goes, okay, this is a toxin that I just have to deal with, and I'm not going to be able to have this kind of protest and still be able to keep normal functioning going. So what I have to do is mine other tissues, mine the muscles, mine the bones, mine the nervous tissues, mine other things in the body for the vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, other things that I need in order to get through this crisis toxic situation. And then when it goes away, then I'll be able to replace things, and I'll just be able to survive. So it's a survival mechanism that our body has created in order to get through difficulties. But we're in a situation now where we never really get away from toxins. They're in our air, they're in our water, they're in our food, they're in the dyes in our clothing, they're in our personal care products and makeup. And so if you're reacting to stuff and it's there all the time, your body's constantly masking, and you don't really know that it's a problem. So that's the second thing. The third thing is that when we experience things that are traumatic in one way or another, as a species and also as a class, mammals in general tend to dissociate from their bodies. Well, what it means is you don't really feel what's going on in your body. Um, you're not in your body. You're somewhere nearby watching and trying to manage what's going on, but you don't actually uh, you don't actually enter your tissues because it's too painful. So I spent a lot of my childhood dissociated from my body, and there were specific occasions when I can remember actually connecting into my body and going, oh wow, this isn't very comfortable, but I really want to be here for this in particular. Um, so dissociation is usually a response to trauma, and if you know that a child is in pain, that the child will be weeping or will be moaning or will be wailing or will be rocking back and forth. But I mean, these are all normal ways of expressing being in pain or being in huge stress. But if your child isn't expressing those, it doesn't mean that they're not there, because you can have masking and you can have acclimatization and you can have dissociation. And all three of those can mean that your child isn't actually experiencing what it is that's keeping them from functioning well. Thanks. I hope this helps. Bye. If you're interested in talks, workshops, or coaching, please contact me at www.thrivewithautism.ca. Thank you.